Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Page 5. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyem Akshapiryachatraha Sthirairangai Stushtruvagam Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vriddhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatir dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We saw that Upanishads is one of the core of our scriptures, and it is that which contains the Jnana portion or the knowledge portion of our scriptures. The basic principle in the Upanishads is that of Atma Jnana or Brahma Jnana, meaning knowledge of one's own true nature or knowledge of oneself. This is the theme of all Upanishads. Now the Upanishads are categorized as major Upanishads and minor Upanishads. So just like you have in cricket matches, you've got the big series, the Ashes and the border Gavaskar trophies, and then you have the Zimbabwe's playing Sri Lanka and West Indies playing Bangladesh, etc. Those are also test matches, but they are not major ones. You won't stay up all night to see those ones. But when India wins, you stay up all night or as long as it takes to see them win, etc. So you got the major and you got the minor, right? So, but in Upanishads, of course, it's not exactly like that. So the way it is categorized is basically there are said to be around 200 odd Upanishads, something like 286 or something, but that number varies. Out of those 286 Upanishads, it is said that around 108 of them have been proven through cross-referencing and others by the scholars, by the Pandits, back many years from now, not just in recent time. These 108 have been proven to be authentic Upanishads. And as we said yesterday, the Upanishads were nothing but the knowledge revealed between the student and the teacher, right? So the teacher is revealing the knowledge to the student, not the other way around, obviously. So nowadays I think students they think they're smarter than the teachers sometimes. But this teacher, the rishis, are giving this knowledge to the student. So like this, there were many such discussions that must have taken place. And which discussion is authentic, which one is not, that was verified by all these scholars and said, okay, there are 108 such Upanishads which are authentic and which fit all requirements. Now, out of these 108, all of them are not major. It is said 11 of them are major Upanishads and the others are minor Upanishads. Okay, now what makes them major? Out of these 108, these 11 Upanishads were commented on by 3 of the great realized saints of modern times. So the 3 great saints of modern times were Bhagwan Madhavacharya ji, Bhagwan Ramanujacharya ji and Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. Right? They are the great thinkers of modern time, of contemporary time, great saints. So they commented on these 11 Upanishads. Why only these 11? Because these 11 Upanishads cover most of the subject matter which is relevant and which is common to all Upanishads. So hence these 11 were commented upon. So we have these 3 commentaries of these 11 Upanishads. Now as we know, many times we have knowledge, but we don't understand that knowledge and we need some help in understanding. Say for example, metaphysics or biology, right? Or economics. That knowledge is already in practice, isn't it? But for a student, unless there is a university or a teaching method or methodology, the student can never learn or understand that knowledge. Correct or not? So there has to be a teaching structure. There has to be a medium through which that knowledge can be transferred. Only then that knowledge can become practical for the one who's seeking it. Right or not? So in the same way, without the commentary of these 3 great teachers, who? Bhagwan Madhavacharya ji, Bhagwan Ramanujacharya ji and Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. These 3 great seers, without their help, and their commentary was basically elaborating the thoughts presented in the Upanishads. Without their guidance and their help, we would not have understood what is the import of that particular word, etc. and the theme covered in the Upanishad. So hence these 11 are taken as major because they give us a very good idea as to what is the way to study and understand this Upanishad. Yeah? And these 11 Upanishads are Katha Upanishad, Keno Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, and Shveta Shvatara Upanishad. And I'm sure you remember all 11. Yeah? These 11 are the major Upanishads, out of which some of you have studied Taittiriya Upanishad. And now you're going to study Kaivalya Upanishad. So Kaivalya Upanishad is one of the minor Upanishads. Right? So it is said how you should study is first you study the major Upanishads because you have all the wealth of understanding and the support of the commentaries of these great teachers. And then after you've studied about 3 or 4 of the major Upanishads, so now you know exactly how those work, what is the theme and how you should think, then you study the minor Upanishads. So the major Upanishads is your overall picture, and it's quite vast, most of them. And the minor Upanishads is taking certain aspects of this Upanishad, of this concept, of this topic. So our minor Upanishad should be studied after studying at least 2 or 3 major Upanishads. Right? So this is the understanding. Now Kaivalya Upanishad appears in the Atharvana Veda. So Atharvana Veda is which Veda? First, second, third or fourth? Fourth. I only said the oldest was Rig Veda. I didn't say that the Atharvana was fourth. But anyway, okay, because I said it in that order. Okay, in that order, it's number 4. It is actually the most newest Upanishad. If you can, newest Veda, if you can say that. Right? So Atharvana Veda, it is. This is where Kaivalya Upanishad comes in. Alright? Now, as we said, Atharvana Veda is also has a characteristic of Agni, isn't it? Fire. So our Kaivalya Upanishad also will have that fragrance in a sense. You know, it will use fire as upasana, as how we should sort of practice. Okay. So in this Veda, we have every Veda has its own mantras. So its own invocation prayer, and its own method of how these prayers are said as well. So what we studied or what we chant in the beginning is the prayer for Atharvana Veda. So most Upanishads in Atharvana Veda will have this mantra, right? So this mantra is Bhadram Karnevi. We are very familiar with the mantra of Om Sahana Bhavatu, isn't it? That's from the Rig Veda, right? So Sahana Bhavatu, Rig Veda. Generally that's what we chant. But in Atharvana Veda, this is the Shanti mantra which is generally chanted. It's a wonderful mantra. Please repeat after me. Repeat after me, even though you know it. Om Bhadram Karnebhihi.
Om Bhadram Karnebhihi.
Shrunuyama Devaha.
Shrunuyama Devaha.
Bhadram Pashyema.
Bhadram Pashyema.
Akshibhiryajatraha.
Akshibhiryajatraha.
Sthirair Angaihi.
Sthirair Angaihi.
Stuštuvagam.
Sushtruvagam.
Sastanubhihi.
Sastanubhihi.
Vyashema.
Vyashema.
Devahitam.
Devahitam.
Yadayuhu.
Yadayuhu.
Swasti na Indro.
Swasti na Indro.
Vriddhashravaha.
Vriddhashravaha.
Swasti na Pusha.
Swasti na Pusha.
Vishvavedaha.
Vishvavedaha.
Swasti nastarkshyo.
Swasti nastaksho.
Arishtanemihi.
Arishtanemihi.
Swasti no.
Swasti no.
Brihaspatir dadhatu.
Brihaspatir dadhatu.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
This is the wonderful invocation. Now most of you know what is the difference between invocation and a prayer. But for some of you who don't know the difference, I'll mention it. A prayer is generally when we pray to someone external. Yeah? So God as an external being, as an external object. Correct? And we pray to God as, oh Lord, may I ask you of something. Whereas an invocation is where one establishes or re-establishes or reminds oneself of what lies within. So generally in prayer we ask for something we don't have, right? So please give me intelligence. Means I don't have that much at the moment, so please give me some of that. Or please give me some wealth, or please give me some whatever I want, my desire, etc. Right? Whereas in invocation, it is, I already have something, may I rediscover it. So this is the very difference between invocation and a prayer. A beautiful example to highlight this is that of a matchstick, right? The matchstick is made out of wood, but inside it is the element of fire, isn't it? So when we strike the match to the rough surface with the help of the catalyst, what happens is we invoke the fire in the wood. Correct or not? So wood is seen, fire is not seen. So seeing the unmanifest or making the unmanifest manifest is the process of invocation. Alright? So here we see this beautiful scenario, and imagine this scenario. The teacher is sitting in the forest, under a tree generally, or in his hut, or in an ashram. And a student who is seeking knowledge approaches the teacher. Now he's traveled from everywhere looking for, he doesn't know what the teacher is. It's not advertised in any newspaper. He doesn't have a GPS to find his teacher. Nothing. He is just going out of his sheer desire to know. That is his only guiding force. He doesn't know what the teacher looks like. The teacher does not have a visiting card. Does not say, I am knower of the Upanishads. Brahmavit, and in bracket he writes which Upanishad he is most studied. No. He has no such description about himself. He looks as ordinary, or even more ordinary than any person you can imagine. And he's sitting there. And the student comes. And the student asks a question, generally. Right? Okay, or else what is the point of meeting? Right? The student has a question. And he doesn't know whether the teacher has the answer. He doesn't even know whether that person is his teacher or not. The student has a question. He comes to ask this question. The teacher is also very unique. He is not going to just answer any question whichever somebody comes and asks. Yeah, he is not Google. Yeah, you just search and the answer will have to become. No. He has no responsibility to give an answer to anyone. Right? He is quietly staying where he is. That's it. But a question comes. Now, how can you answer such a question without knowing where the question is coming from? Isn't it? He does not have any background about the student. He does not ask anything of the student either. But the student has this question. Now, a question can rise out of a doubt, or a question can rise out of curiosity or inquisitiveness. Right? So here the teacher has to figure out what is this student all about. What is the reason he is asking this question? So how does the teacher find out? The teacher finds out by not answering the question immediately. First, there is a relationship that is required to be formed between the teacher and the student. And the only relationship that is really essential in the Guru-Shishya relationship is how much importance is given to the knowledge that is sought or that is present. So, how do you know whether the knowledge is important to that person? What is that person willing to do for it? So hence, this beautiful idea of the student staying with the teacher. And once they are staying with the teacher observes the student. Right? And the student also observing the teacher very carefully, very closely, very skeptically even. And then, at the same time, the student you can't just sit there and, just observe the teacher. So he has to do something, he wants to do something. Because remember, he is a restless individual. He is not someone who is at peace with himself. That's why he's come all the way into the forest, with giving up everything, looking for something. Right? The teacher is not restless. The teacher is at ease with himself. So the student is now restless, wants to do something. So then the teacher gives him some work to do. Our Taponji Maharaj used to, when Gurudev went at Taponji Maharaj's feet to learn, he made Gurudev go down. Those who went to Uttarkashi this year, it's in the hills, right? It's on the foothills. It's on the slopes, sorry. And then you have to walk all the way down to the Ganga. And now there are steps. So earlier there were no steps, there was no building, no nothing, just a hut. And it was all very rough slopes. Very dangerous, because every time there used to be landslides. Even now there are landslides. Right? So Gurudev went to Taponji Maharaj, and Taponji Maharaj said, okay, you can come to learn here. You are not going to be allowed to stay with me. You find your own accommodation. Food, up to you. You want to eat, you eat. You don't want to eat, up to you. No food available here, unlike our wonderful Chinmay Kunj. Pantry full of food. Right? But anyway, no food available. You find your own food. And Gurudev used to say the food that was available used to be a roti which was similar to a brick in texture and in feel, and a dal which had probably on occasion 1 grain of dal in it. Rest of it was Gangajal. So that was the food or nourishment available. But staying in whatever condition, and the hut where Gurudev stayed was so high that he could only crawl in, and he could not stand up. But that's what his tapas was. But that was not enough. Our Tapovanji Maharaj used to come to Tapovanji Maharaj to study. And Tapovanji Maharaj used to say, okay, now I want a garden over here. So Gurudev looked at Tapovanji Maharaj and said, look, had an expression like, are you serious? Because it's a slope and it's full of stones, rocks, no soil. So what garden? What do you mean by garden? Which garden will grow here? He says, I want a veggie patch. Where is water? It's a slope. All water goes down. He says, yeah, get water. There's such a big river flowing down. So get water up from there. And Gurudev used to take water every day. And so he had to prepare the soil. And what has he gone there for? Brahma Vidya. For knowing the self. What has he ended up doing? DIY. Right? Make your own garden. Veggie patch. Nothing grew. But the point was the attitude. What is the student willing to give up to know? What is the attitude that student has towards the teacher? It is not that Tapovanji Maharaj wanted a veggie patch or a garden, but just to observe the attitude and the working of the student. How beautiful those relationships. And really speaking, our actions speak louder than our words, isn't it? How we work shows what we know, what we believe in, isn't it? And that's how slowly but steadily. There were so many other incidents as well between the teacher and the taught, as we have heard, which are most brilliant. And then you understand what the teacher is looking for in the student. It will come even in this first few verses. So having understood that relationship or found that relationship before the knowledge is imparted to the student, the teacher and students sit at in an attitude of respect and reverence towards each other and towards the knowledge that they are going to share. Based on that attitude, the teacher chants a special prayer of invocation. And that prayer of invocation is chanted by the student as well. Generally, the basic idea of this invocation is, may there be harmony between the two, the teacher and the student. See, yes, the student is skeptical. Yes, the student is restless. Yes, the student has questions. Yes, the student has less faith. But when they are seeking the knowledge, they have to have faith in themselves, in the teacher and their knowledge, and also in the ability to live that. There is no point in the teacher having the knowledge and I have no idea that, oh, I can live it. Isn't it? So I have to have that faith in the journey as well. Also, the whole invocation is, okay, I gain this knowledge, but it should be of use. I should be able to utilize this somewhere. Or else what is the point of this knowledge? Isn't it? Most of our knowledge, as we saw last week, that we gain is useless. Isn't it? You make a list of what are the things you've learned in 1 week. Really, make a list of everything that you've learned in 1 week. About anything. And see how useful it is really to you. And often you will find that most of the things that you've learned was not very useful at all. Isn't it? But you've learned it. And remember, this is the one that you remember. How much of it you've collected, God alone knows. Isn't it? So may this knowledge be useful. And this particular Upanishad and in this particular mantra it's even more beautiful. A little bit more has been added. So we'll just see the meaning of it quickly. So, Om Bhadram Karane. So every mantra in our Upanishad starts with this mystical sound symbol Om. Om, as we know, is the sound is the sound symbol which represents the infinite, which represents the unmanifested truth, the reality. So that unmanifest is first remembered, Om. It's a Mangala Charan, means it is a auspicious utterance. So we always start with Om and then we say whatever we have to say. So Om Bhadram Karnebihi Shrunuyama. O Lord, O the Infinite One, remembering you, the first statement is, may our Karnebihi, our ears, by our ears or with our ears, may we hear everything that is Bhadram. Shrunuyama, may we come to hear that which is Bhadram. Bhadram means that which is auspicious, that which is good. May our ears come to hear that which is good. Bhadram Pashyema Akshibhi Yajatraha Devaha. So may with our eyes, Akshibhi, Bhadram Pashyema, may we see that which is auspicious. And then Sthire Angehi Stushtuvagam Sastanubihi, meaning, I did not say about Yajatraha. Yajatraha means the ones who are worshipping the lords, the devas. The ones who are worshipping the gods, may they see goodness through their eyes, may they hear good, auspicious things through their ears. Sthire Angehi Stushtuvagam. Sthira means firm. Angehi means the limbs. May our limbs be firm. It's a very important thing. You know when you have arthritis what it means when your limbs are not very firm. May your limbs be strong and firm. Stushtuvagam Sastanubihi means that may all this body that is strong and firm, may it be used, Tanubihi, with this body, may we do Stushtuvagam, may we praise. Stuti. Stushtuvagam means stuti, means say good things and do good things. Vyashema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu. May we have long life. So may we have long life. Yadayuhu. Vyashema, may we have Deva Hitam, for the benefit of the Lord, for the benefit of gods, may we have a long life. It's very different, isn't it? Then Swastina Indro Vriddhashravaha. The Vriddhashrava, the most ancient and very famous Indraha. May he bless us, Swasti. May he bless us with auspiciousness, goodness. Swasti. Naha means not na. Be careful. Swasti na Indro, if we say, means na means do, no in Sanskrit. Yeah? So please don't bless us Indra with goodness. No, that's wrong. Naha means to us. So na means no, naha means to us. So to us, please bless us with auspiciousness. Yeah? Swasti naha Pusha Vishwavedaha. So Vishwavedaha is the knower of all Vedas. It's an adjective for Pusha. Pusha means one who is the sun god. Pushan. Pushan is Lord's son. So may the Lord's son also bless us with Swasti, means auspiciousness. Yeah? And Swasti Nastakshyo Arishtanemihi. May Arishtanemi is another word for Vayu. Nastarksha is another adjective, the swift moving. May Lord Vayu also bless us. And lastly, Swasti no Brihaspati Dadatu. May Brihaspati, the Lord of the Guru of all the lords, the Guru of the Devatas, Brihaspati, may he bless us with auspiciousness. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. One Shanti is, see, Shanti, when we say we want peace, right? May there be peace. Now, when we are asking for peace, means at that moment there is no peace. So there is Ashanti, Ashanti, Ashanti. So therefore we are asking for Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Correct? Now, what are the places or what are the ways is there Ashanti? There are 3 ways of Ashanti. One is cosmic Ashanti. Right? Cosmic Ashanti meaning what? Means gods are not happy with you. So something or the other will go wrong. Right? You try to do something good, something or the other will come in the way. So that is caused by, like for example, the earthquake. Those who felt it, felt it. I did not feel anything. There was Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. But there, if we do something noble and something goes wrong, what can you do? Natural disaster happens, you can't do anything. So there Shanti must be there. Second is from our wonderful surroundings. People around us. That too we are very familiar with, no? Ashanti. So may they stay away from us. Those who create obstacle in our noble activity, may they stay away from us. So that's Shanti. Adi Bhautik. And then Adhyatmik. From our own inner self, there is a lot of restlessness. May there also be peace over there. Yeah? So this is the Shanti mantra. So one is, may we hear good things, may we see good things, may we use all this for the worship of the Lord, may our strength be in our limbs, and may that strength also be used for the praise of the Lord. May Lord bless us with auspiciousness, may Indra bless us, may the sun god bless us, may Vayu god bless us, may Brihaspati bless us. Alright? So beautifully it was explained to us that we actually asked for 4 things over here. So long life is the first thing, right? No point in having a long life and having sickness throughout your life. So healthy body, strong and healthy body during this whole long life. Then we want, no point in having a long life, strong body, though some of us may be very satisfied with that, but also that life should be meaningful. So we should have good thoughts, good intelligence, isn't it? Good understanding, knowledge in other words. May that life be meaningful. So that's the third requirement or that we ask for. And the fourth one is that I have knowledge, I have the strength and ability, I have the time to execute, but I do nothing. My knowledge is used for nothing. So may I be able to use that knowledge to create productivity. So these are the 4 basic aspects of this prayer, of this particular prayer. Yeah. So Dirgha Ayu, long life, then strong body, so no illness or suffering, then good knowledge, correct knowledge, and that utility of that knowledge must happen. Right? These are the 4 things that are being prayed for. Right? So Indra, Lord Indra represents prosperity, isn't it? Lord Indra represents productivity. So he is the one we pray for wealth, and that's why we say Swastina Indro Vriddhashrava. Vriddhashrava. The ancient and famous Lord Indra, may you bless us. With what? With that which makes you famous for a long period of time. And hopefully it is Swasti, means good. Because you can be famous for a long period of time doing something really bad. Right? But here, doing something good. Then, Swastina Pusha. Pusha, the sun. The sun nourishes us, isn't it? Because of the sun we have health. So, for Arogya Siddhi, we pray to the sun. Or we invoke the sun's blessings. And then Vayu. Vayu, the air. Vayu is always moving. And what is always moving is time. So, Vayu and Ayu, age, life. So, we pray to Vayu for a long life. Correct? And Brahaspati. Brahaspati is the lord of, the guru of the gods. So, he is a lord who will bestow us with correct knowledge, right knowledge. Yeah? So, these are the 4 aspects. Therefore, the 4 gods we invoke. Indra. These sense organs are also called Indriyas in Sanskrit. So these Jnana Indriyas and Karma Indriyas, there are 10 sense organs in all. So may these be productive. So, Swastina Indro Vriddhashava. May this body be healthy. The sun nourishes us, nourishes the food we eat. That food becomes the fire in this body. And that runs this whole body. May that fire in this body, may that sustain this body and keep it healthy. May the breath that we take, the life that we constantly pulsates in and out of us, may that be long. So may we use that wisely as well. May that breath bless us, not harm us. And lastly, may that knowledge in the intellect, Brahaspati, is the lord of our intellect. May that also be working. Because we can live our lives without using our intellect. But here, may that be bright and brilliant. This is the Shanti mantra which is given in our Atharvana Veda. Right? So now we take up the study of what exactly is Kaivalya Upanishad. You ready? After an hour and a half, we start what exactly is Kaivalya Upanishad about. Kaivalya means solitary, alone. Kaivalya Pada. It means Brahma Pada. It means the absolute infinite state. So I was thinking, how do I explain this? Because we don't know what that absolute infinite state is really. So let us say everything that we know is with relation to something, isn't it? Everything that you know about yourself or anything else is with relation to something. You know your parents, you know your friends with relation to your school, with relation to that time period only, isn't it? If you had not met at the same time in the same place, you would not know that person. Correct or not? Your parents also you know with respect to your relationship with them. So everything we know about ourselves also is with respect to something else. So what are we absolutely, really on our own, we have no idea. Right? We cannot describe it. We know it is, but we don't know what it is. Correct? So Kaivalyam is that state where you know what you are by yourself. To know that which you are by yourself as you, in your essential nature, is this Kaivalya, state of Kaivalya. The only time we are completely with ourselves without anybody else around, absolutely no one. You know where that is? And anyone in this room does not enjoy that state? Some of you may be in that state or wanting to be desperately in that state. That's why we reduce the number of chairs today, so that we have more people sitting on the floor. That's the only way we can stay rather awake. No choice, you see. So, that sleep is the only place where we don't know anything else. You don't know whether you're a man or a woman, old or young, beautiful or ugly, smart or dumb, rich or poor, healthy or sick, famous or criticized, successful or a failure, nothing you know. Neither do you want to become something. You're just you. And that is the most wonderful time that we all have. Strangely enough, we don't know time at that time. It is only when we wake up that we come to know, that was good sleep. That was good. Sleep though we know afterwards. But that was lovely. Some of us wish for more. Right? But that is the time when you experience something which you cannot describe, but you always desire. Right? So this state where you are only by yourself, if only we knew that state exists at all time and knew what it was, that state with knowledge is called Kaivalya. Right? This is for now. So Kaivalya Upanishad is that Upanishad which takes us to this state. Now before we quickly start, I would like to explain this word Upanishad. It's made out of 3 sound syllables. Upa, Ni, Shad. Yeah? Shad means to sit. Upa means near. Ni means down. So sit down and sit close. This is the idea. Upanishad. So an Upanishad means sitting close, down and near. Yeah? Near and close are the same thing. Yeah? Sit means be at rest. Don't stand, because when you stand you are restless, ready for going somewhere. So sit. How far or how close? Close. Not very far. Not too close, but close. And where should you sit? Up or down? Down. So what is this with relation to? With relation to the knowledge. With relation to the knowledge, we should sit, means rest in that knowledge. Be established in that knowledge. How far? Close to it. Don't be so far from this knowledge. Remain close to it. And up or down? Down. Why? Knowledge always flows from up to down. So if you want your knowledge to flow, stay down. It will flow. Down also means humility, isn't it? Up means arrogance, generally. So Upanishad means staying close to this knowledge, being humble so that you express this knowledge. It flows through you. See, the beauty is that when it is flowing, you have no control of where it's coming from or it's not coming. You can't stop it. Let it flow. Knowledge that flows is always with humility. Knowledge which is regulated always requires a ego, isn't it? So stay near, close, and be seated, rested. Or other beautiful interpretation of Shad is to destroy. Ni means darkness or ignorance. So destroy our ignorance. Upa means through this knowledge. So that knowledge which destroys our ignorance is Upanishad. Yeah. So this is the beautiful meaning of this word Upanishad. Alright. So here in this Kaivalya Upanishad we find that it is a discussion between the student and the teacher. The teacher here is Bramhachari, the creator himself, and the student is a rishi called Ashwalayana. What is his name? Ashwalayana. Okay? Ashwa and lion. Ashwalayana. Ashwa means horse. No, that's not Ashwalayana. Yeah? So now you will remember for sure. Right? So now the first chapter, page 9 of this Upanishad will starts with the scene. So Brahmaji is sitting there and Ashwalayana Rishi comes. So we will repeat after me. Om Athashwalayano
Om Athashwalayano
Bhagavantam
Parameshtinam
Upasametyo vacha
Upasametyo vacha
Om Athashvalayano
Om Atashvalayano
Bhagavantam
Bhagavantam
Parameshtinam Upasametyo vacha
Parameshtinam Upasametyo vacha.
So the scene is that Om again invoking that infinite Atha, now, then, then what? Starts with then. Means something must have been before that. We'll come to that later. Ashwalayana, the Rishi, Bhagavantam, Lord, to the Lord, which Lord? Parameshtinam. Parameshtinam means Brahmaji, referring to Brahmaji. Upasametya, coming close, approaching. Uvacha, spoke these words, said to him. So, this beautiful word Parameshtinam is one who is established in themselves. Such a person is called Parameshtinam. Parame tishtati iti Parameshtin. To one who is established in themselves, Ashwalayana comes and asks this question. Now, another beautiful thing, we said Atha, right? And Upasametya. Upasametya means having thus reached. Having thus reached Parameshtinam, Ashwalayana says these words. But there is a requirement before. That's why it starts with ... Having thus reached, he asked this question. So what's the ... It's called Atha. This is a very unique style of our Upanishads. It requires a preparation. Yeah? So the preparation is what? Of the student. So what is the student supposed to be prepared with before they ask a question? And when only they ask that, when they have that preparation, then only they reach the person who's established in it. That's also very interesting. If the preparation is not there, you might have that question and you will ask it to everybody, but you will never find someone who can actually answer it or is established in it. Why? Because you are not prepared. But when our preparation is there, then even though this question has always been there, but then we reach the right teacher as well. So what is this preparation? In Upanishads or Vedanta, there is a specific requirement for the student. And it is called sadhana chatushtaya, the fourfold qualifications for the student. What are these fourfold qualifications? They are viveka. Viveka means discrimination. Discrimination. Not one who discriminates. Huh? Oh, you are horrible, you are great. I'm a Vedantic. No. Not that kind of discrimination. Discrimination means knowing what is good, what is bad. What is right, what is wrong. What is dharma, what is adharma, righteous, unrighteous. What is real, what is ephemeral or temporary. Knowing that is called viveka. And most important, what is self and what is not self. When a person comes to realize what is self and not self, their discrimination becomes that subtle, then they have got viveka in full measure. Our viveka is knowing what is good and bad, correct? That too also based on society. Not that we have actually agreed with it, as we saw in our classes, isn't it? Think about it. Good and bad, what we think is what we have accepted from social norm. We have not actually accepted it. Because society is there, we are following it. If nobody was there, then God knows what would be our standard of good or our standard of bad actually. It's okay. Chalta hai. That's why in India when you go, you have to be good. You have to dress good. When you come back here, not necessarily clothes, I meant the whole thing. Do whatever you want. It's freedom. Isn't it? So, if our society is deciding good or bad, that is not Viveka. Viveka is what you know is good, what you know is bad, which you have decided. Not just with respect to the others or with respect to, but what is my standard? How low will I want to go? Or how high do I want to go? Most of us don't have this. This is Viveka, good or bad. This is a basic one. Right and wrong, again, same. Isn't it? Socially not determined or religiously determined. But what is right? We don't know. The dharma, dharma. Oh God, biggest confusion. Biggest confusion. What is dharma? How should I lead a righteous life? No idea. We just do what others are doing or what we've been told to do. Half of us don't question it. Isn't it? And when someone questions it, we shut them down. Saying that they are arrogant, they don't know anything. Gurudev used to say, no, youth are not useless and careless. They are used less and cared less. The moment they question, we get so offended. How do you question such a thing? But right and wrong, good and bad, all this. And then when it comes to what is real and what is temporary, that we only know intellectually. And then what is self and not self, that is, it requires a bit of thinking. It does not come naturally. See, right and wrong and all the good and bad comes naturally, and through society while living you come to know. But what is self and non-self, what is real and unreal, you don't come to know so easily by experiencing. That has to require one's own effort. Agreed or not? So hence, this is the first one, Viveka. Second is called Vairagya, dispassion. Dispassion is having, very difficult to explain it. Dispassion is where you don't have any attachment, no raga or dvesha. Raga means attachment or like, dvesha means a dislike. So one who has no like or dislike towards anything of the world. Vairagya. One who has viraga bhava is vairagya. So this is very interesting because vairagya is also where there is no extrovertedness, no desire for something which is temporary. It is born out of viveka. Yeah? So that which is born out of viveka is called vairagya. So when you understand, oh okay, this thing whatever I am seeking, which is my desire, is actually pretty useless. I don't think it can be of any use. Then automatically I drop it off, isn't it? I don't dislike it, I just drop it off. That which I've dropped off out of my understanding is called vairagya. So it's not a negative. It's not, oh, I am a vairagi means one who does not care about anything. No, not like that. A vairagi is one who has understood what is important, what is not, and what is not gets dropped off automatically. That is called vairagya. Third is called Shad Sampatti, the sixfold qualities of the mind. Right? Sixfold qualities of the mind. And they start with Shama. Shama means to have control over the mind. There goes our chance. Control over the mind. That is exactly why we want to meditate. But not possible until you have Shama. Some sort of mind control. So in other words, what is mind control? If I am sitting here, my mind should be here. And not, what is going on here, around, and how much time is still left, and all that. No. You're here, your mind is here. Wherever you are, your mind is with you. Gurudev used to say, wherever we are, our mind is 10 kilometers at least away from that. Isn't it? Or sometimes 10 days away from it as well. So, putting your mind where your hands are working. Not putting your hands where your mind is working. That is not possible. Putting your mind where your hands are working is Shama. The ability to do that. Mano Nigraha. Then is Dama. Not Dhamma. Dama. Dama means control over our sense organs. Again, very difficult. We may think it's very easy. Beautiful example is given in our scriptures. Say, suppose you're very angry at someone. You're so angry, your mind has lost control. So lost control means you forget who that other person is. You just are so convinced that they deserve the wrath that is in your mind, or your peace of your mind. Right? And you want to tell, and you're about to use the best word, that the most flowery language that you've collected over the years. Choicest words you have selected for that moment to say it, but then you comes to the tip of your tongue, but your teeth sort of grittily does not allow it. You stop. You just look away or you walk away from there. That ability to control your sense organ, when your mind has lost control, is called Dhamma. It happened yesterday. Over here only. Dhamma. The anger came. And the person was in front, ready to get it. About to say, unfortunately the door got shut. The person went away. Done. Over. That's Dhamma. Shama, Dhamma. 2. Third, Uparama. It's beautiful. This is so beautiful. The third, Uparama. Uparama means the sense of withdrawal. So, Shama is the mind is not running out. Dhamma is the senses are not running out. So now, when both are not running out, they are ready to go within. That is called Uparati or Uparama. Only when it's ready to go within, can you actually be ready for this question or start thinking. Or else we're constantly bombarded from external sources. Where is the chance of us to think? There's no chance. Right? So Shama, Dhamma, Uparama. Uparama is the combination of Shama and Dhamma. And it is an ability to withdraw within oneself. Great example of that is a tortoise. Right? Whenever a tortoise is challenged, what it does? Goes into the shell. Is it? Uparama. It doesn't say, bring it on, bring it on. I have lived so many years, I've seen so many challenges. No, it just quietly goes in. It knows there is a problem here. And it is dangerous. Walks straight in. Same way, when we know in our environment that there are certain things that we slip or fall, which will lead us to lose control, don't take it on. Withdraw. If you know that that thing that you are seeking or that is around you, your environment, is not where you want to be, withdraw. Don't say, hey, what to do, I had to go, what to do, people were there, I know them and I have to go. No, you don't have to go. You can withdraw. The intelligent one withdraws. The foolish one says, what choice did I have? Okay, if you didn't have a choice, then suffer the consequence. No, that I don't want, I don't know why my life is so bad. Arey? What do you mean why your life is so bad? Who else is in charge of it? If not you, then who else is? So I don't know. Then that is exactly the problem. If your life, you are not in charge of it, you are not thinking correctly, then you can't blame life for it or others for it, circumstance. You have to take charge of it. So that is the Uparati. Automatically it happens. Then is Titiksha. Very beautiful. Titiksha. Titiksha. And it is the pinpricks of life. The little pinpricks, discomforts, bear it. Endure the discomforts of life. Why? Because they are not permanent. So someone said something silly, bear it. Because they are saying something silly, why do you have to get agitated? Titiksha, bear it. Absorb it. Rather than react to it. See, when the ego is strong, no? Anything that comes in contact, automatically there is a lot of action. Okay, there was sound there too. I was hoping there would be no sound. Right? But if there is no ego, when you absorb the blow, then automatically there is no agitation further created. isn't it? So titiksha is the ability to absorb, the ability to endure, and only the strong can endure, the weak react, isn't it? So titiksha. Then shraddha, faith. We'll come to shraddha, it will come as the first verse. Shraddha, faith in yourself, in your goal, and on the path. Faith, very essential. Samadhan, equanimity of mind. Last is the samadhan. That the mind is equanimous. The sixfold qualifications. Shat sampatti. The last is mumukshutvam, the desire to liberate. The desire to seek the higher and get it. Not, yeah, if it happens, it's okay, yeah. I heard about this liberation. Nirvana, right? Nirvana, Buddha state. Yeah, suna hai, jante hai. Jante, very good. Namaskar. Proceed further. The state, the desire, I want it now, not later. Mumukshutva. Yeah? So these are atha. Once we have these four in high measure, then you come to know who's that teacher who's established in it. And then when that question is asked, it is answered. And then when it's answered, it is understood. Then when it is understood, it is lived. Because we only live as per our understanding. Whatever we are doing, please understand, we are doing it because that is our belief or that is our understanding. That's why we are living it. It may be wrong, but still I think it is right. That's why I'm doing it. So whatever is your understanding is your living, is your action. So if you understand, you will act naturally. I understand English, therefore I speak English. I don't understand some other language, Spanish, so I don't speak Spanish. Right? Clear? So tomorrow we will all start after Atha. So let's practice a little bit of Atha. Alright? Today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.